come up when I come up, but that's okay. So if you don't know me, my name is Sam Principino. I'm an Assistant Scoutmaster at Troop 320. I first met the Gilboas, and I don't know if they know this story, but I used to have, many years ago, this disease that you get from a BlackBerry. If anyone still remembers what a BlackBerry was, but it's where you're like constantly like this and checking your emails. And I used to do that a lot. I'm a recovering BlackBerry user. But I was at a Carolina Hurricanes game, watching the Canes versus the Caps, checking my email, which I should not have been doing, and I get this email from Mr. Gilbaugh about doing Nova mentoring for his boys, who were in Cub Scouts at the time. So this was a few years ago, and of course we worked on 2 Nova awards over the next couple years. They earned both the Dr. Alvarez and the Dr. Towns Award. Just a side note about Nova Awards. Nova Awards are not required in Cub Scouts. You don't need it to get the Arrow of Light, and they're not required in Scouts BSA. You don't need it to get the Eagle. So this is extra stuff, right? And what kind of extra stuff? Well, you got to do experiments. You have to take extra classes. You have to read extra books, watch educational videos, do extra math. Who volunteers to do extra math in elementary school? These 2 guys, right? So they did great experiments. They did a lot of fun stuff over the years with the Nova. The classic, Mentos and the soda experiment. There was boats. There was all kinds of stuff. It was a lot of fun to watch over the years. They worked really hard, and they got the extra rewards for it. Also worked with them when they were in Cub Scouts at a couple of different district events. They probably don't remember, but we did some shooting sports together at a couple of district events. So they worked on archery and BBs and slingshots and all that fun stuff. So it was no surprise to me when they decided to come to Troop 320 that they wanted to do the next level of the Nova Award. So that was the Dr. Bernard Harris Award, which they've both applied for this summer. So they've been working on it the last few years. Their 3rd Nova medal. It's pretty cool. But getting back to when they first crossed over. So one of the first things they asked me, like they're brand new scouts, is, hey, can we work on this Nova Award? And I'm like, man, you just joined the troop. Before they had, I think, even crossed over from their pack, though, they signed up to go on their first trip with our troop, which was Patriots Point. This was the last regular trip in 2020 before the apocalypse. Does anyone remember that? Raise your hand if you went to Patriots Point in 2020. There's a small handful of scouts that remember that trip. And I was excited. I was like, man, this is great. What a great first trip for these guys. If you don't know what Patriots Point is, it's an opportunity to spend the weekend on the USS Yorktown down in Charleston Harbor. We actually sleep on the aircraft carrier. You get to fly a jet fighter simulator. You get to see aircraft from the World War II, Korea, Vietnam. It's super cool. It's my favorite trip. Love it. And I thought, man, this is going to be great because we're also going to work on the Aviation Merit Badge, which they could use to apply to the Nova Award. So their first merit badge, their first trip, we have all this exciting stuff to do. And we did all of that. And we did a lot more. So what else did we do on that trip? Well, for those of you that went on that trip, you will recall that we also learned what happens when the engine of the van breaks down while you're going 80 miles an hour down the highway. We studied engineering. We also remember why you shouldn't pull off the road at the all-night lottery establishment. We studied orienteering. we reconvened at the Burger King across the street for any nervous parents. And we learned how important mom and dad are when we need rides for half the troop. So we studied family life. It ended up being a good trip. I also worked with Sam on personal management. And in that merit badge class, we discussed managing money, building a budget, the time value of money, time management. And after our discussion of these topics, one of my favorite parts is I really enjoyed Samuel's analysis of his brother's video game habits and how that pertains to personal management. Over the last couple of years, Samuel's continued to earn dozens of merit badges, just tons of merit badges, which you'll soon hear about, and Nova awards while maintaining patrol and troop leader positions. And I think it's fair to say, Mr. Lunchik was talking about, earn his Eagle in record time, as a younger Eagle Scout. So really did a bang up job. But the thing that I appreciate and really want to recognize is the thoughtfulness and the encouragement towards the other scouts, toward the first year scouts. And you've got first year scouts in this room, right? And I think that's a testament to the fact that you guys really do a good job of helping them. And I appreciate that as a scoutmaster. I appreciate that as your mentor, and I appreciate that as a dad, because I have a first year scout in our new girl troop, and I know you guys work really hard to help them out as well. I can always count on Samuel to help with requirements and to fill in leadership gaps, like he did at summer camp this summer, helping out as a leader there. And since hoping for things is not a strategy, as one of my mentors used to tell me, I'll say that it's every mentor's plan that their student one day develops to a point where they're able to pass on what they've learned. And I know that plan has come to fruition because I can see Samuel putting that plan into action at campouts and at meetings. And for that, I'm very proud of you, Samuel. Your troop is very proud of you. And your mom and dad are very proud of you. We all can't wait to see what you do next. Adventure awaits.